Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're heading to Cape Town, South Africa to explore the art scene and some pretty amazing attractions. And for this journey, our guide is this fantastic newsletter called Love to Visit South Africa. It's bursting with tips and insights, and I'm excited to dig in. So right off the bat, the newsletter shouts out the Iziko South African National Gallery as a must-see. It's right in the company's garden, which is, get this, the oldest European garden in Africa. Pretty impressive, huh?
It is. And what's really fascinating is the garden's history. It dates back to the 17th century,
Huh.
established by Jan van Riebeeck and the Dutch East India Company, so it's deeply connected to Cape Town's colonial past.
Wow, that adds a whole new dimension to it. It's not just a garden, it's a living piece of history. Speaking of history, the newsletter also mentions the Castle of Good Hope, another 17th century landmark. This time, a fort.
Right, and understanding the historical context of places like the company's garden and the castle, it really enriches the experience when you visit. It's like seeing them through the lens of time, connecting the past to the present.
Absolutely. Okay, let's switch gears for a sec. The newsletter also talks about the difference between a BBQ and a South African braai. Apparently, it's a huge deal there, a whole cultural event. They even have a designated braai master. Can you believe that?
It's true. It's not just someone grilling, they're like the conductor of the whole experience. The newsletter emphasized that a braai is all about community, gathering around the fire, sharing stories. It really sounds like something you need to experience firsthand to grasp.
I know, right? It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But we can't forget about the art. Back to the Iziko South African National Gallery. What really stood out to me was the diversity of their collection. They have historical South African landscapes, modern abstract pieces, and even contemporary installations.
Yes, and what's remarkable is the mix of established and emerging artists. It's like a showcase of the evolution of South African art, giving a platform to both masters and rising stars. Plus, they have rotating exhibitions, so there's always something new to see.
Exactly. You could visit multiple times and have totally different experiences each time. So we've got art intertwined with history, a taste of South African culture with a braai. What else does this newsletter have for us?
Well, there's a section about the vibrant street art scene in Cape Town. Apparently, some neighborhoods are like open-air galleries, and then some neighborhoods are practically open-air galleries.
Wow, for real. That's incredible. Do they mention which neighborhoods specifically? I'd love to just wander around and take it all in.
They mention Woodstock and Salt River as being especially vibrant. The street art there apparently reflects the area's history, culture, and even current social issues. It's like a visual dialogue with the community.
That's fascinating. Art is social commentary. It reminds me of something I read about the Iziko Gallery. They have a strong collection of works from the township art movement, which emerged during apartheid.
Oh, you're right. The township art movement is a powerful example of how art can be used to reflect and even challenge social and political realities. It would be incredible to see those pieces in person and really understand the context behind them.
Absolutely. Okay, I have to admit, I'm still thinking about that braai. The newsletter mentioned all these amazing sounding dishes, beerwurs, sosoties, pap. It's making me hungry.
Mm.
What makes these dishes uniquely South African?
Well, boerewors is a type of farmer sausage really popular at Braai. It's usually made with a blend of meats and spices, giving it a distinct flavor. So sosities are like kebabs, but they often use South African ingredients like ostrich or springbok meat.
Mm.
And pap is a maize porridge, a staple in many South African homes.
Okay, now I'm really craving a braai. It
Yeah.
sounds like way more than just food. It's a whole cultural experience.
You got it. It's about the food, the fire, the people, the stories. It's a way of life in South Africa.
It makes me think about how experiencing art in a different cultural setting, like Cape Town, it can totally change your perspective, not just on the art itself, but on the place you're visiting too.
That's so true. It's like art becomes a lens through which we see the culture, the history, the people. And in turn, that place and its culture shape how we see the art.
It's this beautiful cycle of discovery and connection. Speaking of connection, I'm curious about the role of public art in fostering a sense of community.
That's a great point. Public art can act as a catalyst for dialogue and interaction. It can beautify spaces, spark conversations, and even inspire social change. It's a powerful way to bring people together.
I love that. It's like art becomes this shared experience, something that connects people from all walks of life. It reminds me of that feeling you get when you're traveling and you come across a piece of street art that just speaks to you. Even if you don't speak the language or fully get the culture, there's that sense of shared humanity, of connection through art.
You nailed it. Art has that incredible power to go beyond language and cultural boundaries. It
Mhm.
touches something universal within us, something that connects us all.
It brings us back to your question from earlier. How does exploring art in a different cultural context change how we relate to art itself?
It's like art becomes this mirror, reflecting not only the culture it comes from, but also our own values and perspectives.
Uh-huh.
We each bring our own baggage and biases to the table when we look at art. And art can challenge those biases, make us question what we think we know. And ultimately, it broadens our understanding of the world and even ourselves.
So it's a two-way street. We learn about another culture through their art, but that art also teaches us something about ourselves.
Exactly. I think that's one of the most valuable things about experiencing art from different cultures. It pushes us out of our comfort zones, encourages us to see things from new angles, and in the end, it enriches our own lives in really meaningful ways.
This deep dive has been such an eye-opener. From the historical significance of the company's garden to the vibrant street art scene, the cultural significance of the Braai, and the power of art to connect us across cultures. What a journey.
It really has been. And honestly, this is just scratching the surface of the art and culture Cape Town has to offer.
So to all our listeners out there, if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, don't stop here. Do some more research, maybe plan a trip to Cape Town, experience the magic firsthand.
And if you do find yourself in Cape Town, make sure you check out the Iziko South African National Gallery. Wander through the company's garden, immerse yourself in that incredible street art, and hey, maybe even try your hand at being a Braai master.
Who knows? You might just discover a whole new side of yourself along the way. Until next time, happy travels and keep diving deep.